It's national meets regional. Welcome to Sidewalks Entertainment, the long-running celebrity, music, and art series. Join us now for an exciting new path to celebrity interviews, music, rising talents, and much, much more.
Our guest today has had a long career as a working actor in both television and film, beginning when he was just a kid working on his TV series Silver Spoons, and later the very popular series NYPD Blue. Well, he's with us today to talk to us about a documentary project that he created that's very close to his heart. I'd like to welcome Ricky Schroder to Sidewalks.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Ricky, thanks so much for being with us today.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Well, you won a Golden Globe with your very first film, if I'm not mistaken. It was the first one, right? The Champ?
That was my first released film. Little known fact is that I was actually the son in Jaws 2 for Roy Scheider, and the movie got canned halfway through production, and I got kicked out with the rest of the cast.
Oh, no.
So anyway,
well, it was a good thing you had the Champ, because,
that's right.
My goodness, I mean, to win a Golden Globe straight out of the gate is amazing. And you were what, maybe 8 or 9 at the time? You were so young.
I turned 8 in the process of making The Champ, and it came out in the theaters in 1979.
And had you been working on your craft even at that time, or was it just you were just so incredibly talented and born naturally this way?
Oh, well, you know, I never really worked on the craft. I kind of, you know, kids, they just kind of, you push them out there, and they usually just, you know, succeed at what they do. You know, they just have no fear. And so I was one of those little kids, I think, that wasn't super shy, was outgoing, and you know, I was in the right time at the right place then.
Right. Well, I remember being such a fan of Silver Spoons as a kid, and you were such a great actor even then. I mean, everything carried forward for you. Do you have a favorite memory of that time of working on that show and that series, when you look back on it?
Sure. I mean, Silver Spoons was a really fun period for me. It was hard work, no doubt. You know, I grew up on a set, and so it was a full day's work in school, but it was just fun. I mean, video games had just come out, and I had a whole bunch of them on my set that I could play for free. I had an unlimited amount of quarters. And so that was, you know, it was a good time, and I really liked the people I worked with, and I still keep in touch with actually all the people I worked with on Silver Spoons. They were like a second family for me. And so, yeah, I mean, it's good memories. I don't know really one specific memory, although I'll say, you know, just the confidence of performing in front of a live audience. I remember I was so nervous the first episode of Silver Spoons. I just couldn't bear it. But then after I did the first show or two, I mean, I just sort of learned to like the audience, and that was a great energy, just interacting with them.
Yeah, for sure. Well, now your good work can not only be seen from in front of the camera, but also behind the camera. One of the reasons you're here today is that you created and produced a documentary series called The Fighting Season. Why don't you tell us about this great project?
Sure. The fighting season is a period of time when the snows have melted between Pakistan and Afghanistan in the mountains there. And the Pakistani fighters move into Afghanistan, the Pakistani Taliban move into Afghanistan to fight for the season. And then it ends when the snows come back. The fighting season was an effort to document the end of America's longest war. It was, at that point, 13 plus years when we were there, which was March through July 2014. It also overlapped during the historic presidential elections in Afghanistan, where the Taliban had threatened anybody to vote, whoever voted, they could be fair game, a target. So we embedded with different army units across Afghanistan, looking at the missions that they had, which were varied. Everything from advising and assisting the Kabul police force to secure the city so that suicide bombers and things couldn't get into the city during election day, to actually going on operations after known terrorists that were in the Pakistan-Afghanistan border region and trying to eliminate them in the run-up to the election, to interrupt the flow of fighters and explosives making its way into Afghanistan from Pakistan.
Wow, this was an incredibly dangerous project to undertake. I mean, you guys were embedded, I think you said 3 months. Were you guys ever, you and your crew, ever in direct situations where, like, something serious could really happen to you? Did you ever feel that moment?
Well, yes, but the thing is, in Afghanistan, you know, one of the interpreters that works with the Army told me anything can happen to anyone at any time in Afghanistan. And that's kind of the stress you live with over there, because you're just always waiting for it to happen, because, you know, it's just possible. And so that's in the back of your mind. And you kind of get used to it a little bit with some time, but never goes completely away. There was two major gunfights when we were there that my crew and I were embedded with the Army when those happened. So yeah, so we were in some direct contact, you know, direct combat.
What did your wife and family say to you when you told them you wanted to go and do this? Were they supportive right out of the gate, or did they have to take a little time to warm up to the idea?
Oh no, my wife was very upset, and I actually had to go there. It was really hard because, you know, I usually do things my wife likes me to do, but this time I couldn't do that for her.
Smart man. Ricky, this sounds like such an amazing project. Where can people view this?
You can watch this on Direct Television, the Audience Network. If you have Direct TV, it's channel 239. Thank you to them for being my partners. And if you don't have Direct TV, you can watch it on iTunes and Amazon and other platforms online.
Ricky, it was such a pleasure to have you today. I wish you all the best. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Cindy.
For more full-length celebrity interviews, visit sidewalkstv.com.